and welcome to This is Metal with Tom Collier. My name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and today we got some of the members of the band Devildolls. Now, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Well, I guess I'll go first. I'm HellSing, vocalist, blood spitter.
Lead Spitter, okay. And then we got the police surveillance who's having trouble with his camera, but he still wants to take part in the interview. So you can't see him, unfortunately, but we can hear him. He's here in spirit. So let me ask you guys, talk a little bit, because I've always loved bands like Alice Cooper, Wasp, Motley Crue, Kiss, as you can see behind me. Now, my question is, I'm sure a lot of those bands were influenced on you growing up.
Yeah,
oh yeah, for
most
sure.
definitely. Yeah.
Did you always want to be in a band where it was just more of than just like 4 or 5 guys in their jeans and t-shirts? I mean, what was the catalyst of that for you to do a band like this?
You want to take this one, Van? Okay.
Go ahead, you tell us, man. Tell us, HellSing.
Well, for me, growing up, man, the first thing I ever remember, very vividly, outside of my first ever horror movie, was seeing Gene Simmons on a 2020 Satanic Panic special.
Wow.
And they were showing him spitting fire and spitting blood. And then they were showing Alice Cooper getting beheaded and showing Wasp. So those bands that you mentioned, I know me and Van are big fans of.
Yeah.
So seeing that stuff, even when I had been about 3, getting ready to go on 4 when I seen this. And that just completely changed my whole life, just seeing that one little segment and seeing all the stuff going on. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. And, when you go see a show like that, it's much more than just, like I said, much more than just guys in their jeans and t-shirts. We're being entertained. I mean, just even if you've never even seen Alice Cooper, what a show that guy puts on. And even modern day, Alice Cooper's in his mid-70s. He's still putting on the ultimate rock show at that age. So you got to love what the man's doing. I mean, and the music on top of it. So very much like Alice and Kiss before you, visually, you guys are delivering the goods. You're giving your fans, ultimate rock show as well. And the thing, it's interesting we're talking about, Kiss, they're getting ready to wrap up their career after 50 years. They're on their real final farewell. And so that's why I think it's very important to have a band like the Devildolls. You got these legendary guys kind of hanging up their guitars, and you guys are the next generation of what came before.
Yeah, and we respect what everybody's done.
Yeah.
It takes a whole lot to put on a show like that.
Yeah.
It's not getting out of bed, jumping on stage, and just playing your guitar and singing.
Yeah.
You really have to put a whole lot of effort into everything you do, especially when you're putting the makeup on, an hour to 2 hours in advance. Getting up there, sweating to death, makeup going in your eyes, blood going everywhere. It takes a lot out of you, and man, it really drains you. And I can get why, Gene's having all these problems right now with being on stage and having to take breaks and all that stuff. And I'm not super young or anything, but I'm a lot younger than he is, and I'm feeling it. So I can only imagine what he's feeling at his age.
Yeah, just his age creeping in, if you're really honest about it. But let me ask you, Tom. The Devildolls, of course, are signed to Fire Rock Music Group. How did this band come to be, signed by the label? And how did you? What was your initial reaction when you heard the band?
So Mike Wilkerson, our A&R guy, he brought them to us, and we all heard them, and we had the same thing. I mean, they're unique. They've got a great sound. What they're doing, their new album is just killer. It's going to be unbelievable. And we think that these guys have a real shot. We're very happy to bring them. Mike brought them to us. They're different, and that's what we're looking for. And we want to work with musicians like that. And their new album, is Van able to talk? Van, do you want to talk about the new album, or do you want HellSing to talk about it?
Hey, we can all talk about it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I talk too much.
No, let Van talk about it. Go ahead, Van. Tell us what you think about the new album. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, first of all, Helsing and I we've been talking about this project for a long time. Like we wanted to have like a shock rock value to it, and we wanted to, kind of bring it kind of like, Alice Cooper, Kiss, and all those bands from back in the day. Even like newer bands like Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson, just kind of doing their thing. We think we can like work contenders too.
I mean, definitely. I mean, just from what my perception, I mean, like you have bands like we've mentioned, Kiss, Alice Cooper. That came. I mean, before Kiss, there was Alice Cooper, and I've heard the guys talk over the years how initially the idea for Kiss and the makeup came up because all four of those guys went together to see an Alice Cooper concert, and initially they thought, okay, this is pretty cool what we just saw, but they only had one guy in the band made up. We want to kind of take this to the extreme. We're not going to have just one guy in the band get dressed up. We're going to have all four of us get dressed up, and each guy is going to come up with their own kind of personality and their makeup design and stuff. And it's kind of morphed into what it is today. And so for anybody that's saying like the Devildolls is like anything like Kiss, I mean, aside from maybe wearing makeup and having great music, you guys look nothing like Kiss. You got your own personas, and so let's talk a little bit about how I assume everybody in the band created their own persona and makeup design. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, as far as I go, like, it's just everything that I ever loved as a kid. You see Alice Cooper wear a top hat, or Michael Graves from the Misfits wear a top hat.
Sure.
So I pulled that. Little bit of Alice Cooper in the makeup design, of course.
Sure.
But I use blood instead of black, so there's that. And then just like bringing all as far as like my regular stage clothes go, like I have spikes, galore. So that's my nod to Blackie Lawless and Jim.
Sure. Yeah.
Everything like that. I tried to incorporate some of my own stuff into it. Like the Elvis chops.
Sure. I mean, even on your hat, Hellsing, the Pentagon kind of takes me back to when whole controversy when Motley Crue released "Shout at the Devil." That was originally the album cover, and then Walmart and a couple other stores wouldn't even sell, so they had to alter the album cover.
Yeah. The way I always looked at it, if you're going to be in a shock rock band, you have to do something that shocks, and people still get scared of that.
Yeah. It's just a design. Yeah.
I actually went to see a Marilyn Manson show. This had to have been back in 2013.
Yeah.
And I seen Manson during the Antichrist Superstar tour, and that was the big one where you seen crowds protesting outside and holding up, Jesus saves signs and all that. And that was like the closest I could have ever gotten to seeing Kiss in the 70s.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I mean, I know they had the same thing going on. So seeing that, it was an eye opener too. Like I really love seeing that. But when I went to see him in 2013, I had gotten out of my car to go into the venue because he was playing at a small venue, which was amazing. And this woman started asking me if I believed in Jesus and God and all that. I was like, this stuff still happens?
Yeah.
I thought at this point we'd seen it all.
Yeah.
But apparently not. And you bring up the devil and people are still scared.
I mean,
So,
it's funny. I've heard Geezer Butler talk over years how he used to like to mess with people like wearing the cross because the whole thing with Sabbath too. People always thought they were devil worshippers and everything. He says, I wear the cross because I was a pretty strict Christian, and he goes, but I like to mess with people because they'd ask me, so what are you? Are you Christian? Are you a devil worshiper? What are you? And he's like, well, that's kind of for you guys to figure out.
right.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's belief structure should be brought into it at all, honestly. It shouldn't be taken so seriously. Everybody should just have fun.
I mean, let's be honest. What we're doing this for, to entertain the audience, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you get those people that take it out there way too far and be taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And to somebody like me, it's a monster movie. And you go to a monster movie, what happens? You always have fun, and you walk out, you're still alive, and you just had a blast.
And I can see you guys are dedicated to this. I mean, you even showed. You even showed to the interview. Made up, that's dedication because I can imagine how much time it must have took before you even do the interview today to get ready, get dressed up, to get in the makeup.
you want an estimate of how long it took me to do this?
Yeah, yeah.
I've gotten so good at it, I can get it done in 15 minutes.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
You got to start with the contacts first. That way, you're not crying through the whole
Yeah, yeah,
process.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And so I guess even when you do shows, it's kind of like that, that you can get made up and everything in 15 minutes. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I try to be. Sometimes when before you become a rock star, you have to do this real life job thing.
Yeah.
And there's times when there's these times when your boss wants you to work over, which is I don't know the limitations of language on here, but it's a
Yeah.
complete pain in the ass.
Oh, I got you. I got you. That's fine. Yeah.
So I've had times where I've had to get ready in 5 minutes, 3 minutes before I even went on stage because I was trying to rush. And I kind of broke it down to a science after a while of getting it done quick.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of a professional. And I've had girls ask me, "How do you get that done so fast? How do you do that?" I'm like, you guys don't know this?"
Yeah. And so, Tom, what plans do you guys have for the Devildolls? I mean, is the album coming out by the end of the year, early next year? Have you got a projected release date for it?
So we're thinking early next year. They're waiting them. They're in the studio right now finishing up the stuff, and we're very excited to get them out there. But we want to give them some run time too. Get the publicity out there and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Mike Brandvold is our
Marketing
publicist.
genius.
Mike,
yeah.
Michael personally. He sends us a lot of people here, but we're excited, and we think these guys, they are going to make an impact, and I think people are going to be really shocked, and we love it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that Mike brought them to us, Mike Wilkerson.
Yeah. And not that it really needs to be put out there, HellSing, but people want to make all the comparisons between the Devildolls and Kiss and stuff like that. But you guys are in good hands because, as Tom just pointed out, Michael Brandvold, who's a publicist, I mean, he is currently like one of the publicists for Foghat. He was a publicist in the past for Kiss, and he's working currently with Accept and Wassa.
Ozzy, Madonna, Britney Spears,
even. So I mean, you guys are in great hands. And I see Tom, we have some other people getting ready to jump on.
Yes, we do. We got somebody coming on right now.
Yeah.
And who is this? I think it's a good friend of ours that's slipping into the show.
From Fire Rock. Fire Rock music group too.
He's just got to turn the audio on, Scott, and then turn on the video.
Yeah.
There he is.
Hello, Scot Braun.
Oh,
hey, hello, Van.
That's
me.
Van.
He got it. He got his camera on. Yeah.
I think I got it. I got it now.
Yeah, Van's got his. Hey, all right, brother. There you go. All right.
How's it going?
Good, man. We can see you now. All right.
Hey,
we got our good friend Scot Braun is coming on from Fire too. Scott wanted to say hello to you guys. So Scott, he's almost in here.
Hey Van, I noticed you're not wearing your trick or treat hoodie.
Yeah, it's upstairs. I thought you were gonna wear yours. I didn't want to do a party file.
So Van, you're unmasked. That's great. So people can see what you really look like. Now let me ask you guys about that. Very much like Kiss. I know when you go on stage, you're in the makeup, but do people recognize you? When you go on everyday life, or you try to when you do a music thing, be in full costume?
Well, when we go live, it's usually full costume. So
I guess what I'm asking, like, would you allow somebody to take a picture of anybody in the band, like outside of makeup, or would you kind of say no, we want to be made up?
Nah, I mean, I'd let anybody take a photo. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So.
And how do you feel about getting made up? I mean, is it almost kind of like I've heard Alice Cooper talk? Okay, when I'm up on stage, I'm Alice Cooper, but when I'm off stage, and I'm not putting on a show, I'm Vince. You really feel like you're kind of getting into that character when you step up on stage?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels a little like when you step on stage and you're in full character, it's like you can almost like hide behind the mask, and become whatever you want to be.
Yeah. And HellSing was sharing with us that he's kind of perfected the art of getting made up in his costume and everything. Takes him about 15 minutes. What's your procedure? Have you kind of mastered it, or how long does it take you?
Yeah, I use pretty much the same like persona as I do with my other band, the B Movie Monsters. So it's like I just kind of use that same persona for this.
Yeah.
And Scot Braun.
Scot Braun. Hey, hello there. Welcome, Scott.
What are you doing, man?
Great to see you, Scott. Wow. Scott even
It's
came
me.
messed up. Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Just hanging out.
We're talking to the Devildolls. Now, Scott, have you taken any of your dynamic photos of these guys yet, or is there a magical photo shoot in the future?
I hope so. I'm looking at HellSing right now, and it looks like that needs to be done. Holy shit!
Yeah, I can imagine just the photos. I mean, I went on the Fire Rock Music website, and the photos. I was just wow. I can't wait. I hope these guys show up in makeup, and man, they did, and they brought it. You know.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And so, are you guys working on a music video or anything?
We are actually this weekend, for the most part, the album will be mostly done. Which leaves two more tracks that Mr. Van there is taking care of. And I'll be in there laying down vocals from Friday to Sunday and getting it knocked out. And then we're gonna probably take a couple days and just do a lot of mixing and mastering.
And let me ask you, Ben, what instrument do you play?
I play guitar, and I've been recording bass on the album as well.
So do you have a different bass player? I take it when you guys do live shows, or are you looking for a full-time member, or what?
Yeah, we have a full-time member. He's been going through some things, so I've been kind of taking care of it, trying to push through for him.
Well, I hope he comes through whatever he's going through. Now, I got to ask you, Scott, when you first seen the Devildolls or they came to your attention, what was your immediate reaction?
I love the look, man, and the music is great.
When I was telling these guys, Kiss, after 50 years together, they're finally getting ready to wrap it up, and I think these guys are the next generation. I think maybe Kiss can pass the torch to these guys.
I agree, man.
Yeah, there definitely will be a void, when Kiss is no longer doing this, and I say, wow, just like HellSing. I mean, I can't wait for the video. Just visually, I can just imagine what it'll be like.
The idea that I want to run with as far as music videos is making mini horror movies. I think that seeing Michael Jackson's Thriller as a kid, nobody's done it that good since. I mean, people have tried, but nobody has done it as well as Michael Jackson did. And that video, I mean, along with seeing, the first time I seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Sure.
And seeing, that 2020 Satanic Panic special, and seeing Wasp on MTV, and then seeing the Michael Jackson Thriller, that just opened me up to a whole world. And of course, me and Van's favorite movie, Trick or Treat, which came out in '86.
Gene Simmons and Paul and Ozzy the preacher of all things.
It just celebrated 37th
Tom,
birthday yesterday.
Oh wow. So Tom, did you ever see that movie Trick or Treat?
I did see it. Actually.
Yeah. Gene Simmons has like a little cameo as looks like almost a cowboy, as a cool looking DJ, and then Ozzy the ultimate preacher.
Scot Braun was in that movie too. Scott did. So guys, you guys are doing like a rock symphony. Is that what we're doing with this whole album here? Why don't you guys talk a little bit about the new album?
Yeah,
it's I wouldn't really call it a rock symphony. It's more of hide your daughters, hide your children, hide your mothers, lock the doors, bolt the windows, board the doors, board the windows, because the dead are coming out to party.
Would it be fair to call it a concept album, kind of like what Alice Cooper does typically?
Yeah, kind of.
I'd
kind of like a Satanic Panic thing that we were trying to bring back from the '80s.
Wow. Yeah.
You got a little bit of that, and the way I'm looking at it too, and I'm sure Van looks at it kind of like this too, is it's kind of like an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Or the old comic book where it had different stories.
And I think HellSing, you're right on target, because I think besides the music and the visual, I mean, it's great to kind of mix the horror with it too, because I mean, fans of horror also oftentimes metal fans and love horror and all this stuff. And I think you can have kind of a huge crossover effect with all those different things.
It goes hand in hand with each other. I mean, ever since me and Van were kids, seeing something like Nightmare on Elm Street and seeing Freddy Krueger jam with Dokken pretty much.
Yeah. Hey,
And
I got to ask you, Van. I love your background there. What is that?
It's just a little swirl.
Oh, that's
Little swirl.
that's cool.
he's getting all creative now.
So where have you guys been playing out live much, or is the plan to kind of get the record out first and then start playing?
And we want to do the record first before we even hit the stage. We want to have something to put in people's hands.
And now you guys got a
when it
back
comes to a
catalog
show,
of music. Go ahead, HellSing.
Well, I was gonna say when it comes to doing the show, I mean, there's no two better guys to create the show we're gonna put out.
Uh-huh.
As far as me and Van go, the other guys, they're throwing ideas into, but me and Van, we go back and like I said, we're fans of Wasp, Motley Crue, all the bands that put on a big show.
Yeah.
And we love horror movies, so there's no limit to what we can put together for a live show and just blow people's minds and cover them with as much blood as we possibly can, or any other goo.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hardest part of you guys are gonna have maybe is some of these clubs, like, well, we because of pyrotechnics, you can only do certain things because of the size of the club or whatever.
Yeah, we don't want to turn out like Great White,
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, so where is home for you guys? Where's the band based out of?
We're based out of Indiana.
Oh,
But
wow.
we're known for being from Fort Wayne, but we're really all over the place. So
Is there much of a
Fort
rock
Wayne's
scene, or are you guys kind of it there?
There's a little bit
there's
of
a rock scene. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, I got to tell you, I think you got to do like a great photo shoot with these guys. I think once photos start going out of this band, if you could get them like on any magazines, people are just going to be loving this. Just, I mean, even HellSing, just visually today, all eyes are on you.
Thanks.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, me? Little
Well, I mean, because let's be honest, you're made up. I can just imagine what each guy in the band gets made up. Like kind of like I said, you see a photo of Kiss back in the day, or even today, all the guys dolled up in their makeup and the costumes. It's visual eye candy. People want to know what the hell is that. Yeah.
Really, to add to the spectacle of what we're going to be, we even have a special effects artist in the band.
Cool. Yeah.
And he was out in Hollywood for a while, and he finally came back, moved back home, and so we're gonna have that ability too, which really kind of throws some flair in there too. So
yeah. And now, have you guys released any albums in the past? And my question in regards to that, now that you're signed to Fire Rock and the new album is released next year, do you think any of older stuff will be re-released?
I mean, me and Van, we actually come from two big horror backgrounds. He's doing he's still doing the B movie monsters, and great horror punk band. I mean, and they were around before I even got out there doing stuff, because I was just like wanting to be Glenn Danzig myself and get out there and start doing some horror punk. Which he's been doing that for a while. And you're working on an album for that too, aren't you, Van?
Yeah, it's written and most of it's demoed, but we haven't gotten to the studio yet.
Well, let me just say, man, today's all about the Devildolls, but Tom and I would love to have you come back on another future episode and talk about the other band if you're ever interested in doing that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd like to HellSing and Van and Scott. I'd like to thank you guys all for taking part in today's episode. This was one of the most funnest episodes we've ever done, including the Scot Braun interview, of course, Tom. So it's great to, Scott, I got to say, you're the first person in the history of the show to come back for a second episode. So
right on.
Thanks for that, man. You got that honor. This will be going up in a couple weeks. Once I have a date for it, I'll let Tom know. Feel free to share it on all your websites. We must do this again when the album comes out. You guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
Thanks for
guys.
having us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You guys.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys, man.
Yeah, nice meeting
You
you.
as well, bud.
And Scott, I think you'll be coming back for a third episode. Tom will be telling you about that. Take care.
Right on. Bye-bye.
See you guys.